the Geo 5R with its brand new Riptide regulator. It's subsonic bolt. No, that's actually not the goddamn Geo 5. Obviously, that's the Dangerous Power G5 Spec R. That's the G5 Spec R. This is the Geo 5R. Nope, Geo R5. No, that's a CS3. And I bet nobody even realized it's a CS3. It's the same goddamn gun. I mean, we just pull up the, you know, the Geo R5, the Geo 5I, the Geo R5. It's becoming a mouthful. And look at the things. It's a R5, CS3, R5, CS3, R5, CS3, R5, CS3. I mean, like, you know, what's the difference here? They're so similar. It's hard to say. Look at them. Same thing. Same thing. Okay, Geo R5, that's actually the gun right there. Let's let this thing go through, and then we'll show the colors. And there are 6 colors at launch. And I'm just going to read, like, the new things, or, like, the highlighted things of this R5. They have a brand new, sort of, we'll talk about the bolt in a minute here. They have a brand new GR drivetrain, ergonomics ground up redesign, and this is all comparatively to the Geo 4. So they have that brand new GR drivetrain. They have ergonomics ground up redesign, soft tip bolt, concealed eye covers, which is kind of interesting, and the MME electronics stack, which is the same electronics that are coming in the CS3 and LV2. You're getting that S63. Why'd this light just turn off? Same electronics package that you're getting in the CS3 and LV2. You're getting that S63 barrel. It's slightly lower pressure than the Geo 4, maybe by about 15 to 20 psi. And they will not be making a mechanical frame for this. So if you want the highest end mechanical gun you can get, it's still going to be with the CS3. So like the LV2, there will be no mechanical frame. And here's just a bunch of other pictures. And you know, I don't know. You know, it seems like this is a gun we've seen before, right? It's not any different, I think, than the CS3. I mean, currently Planet Eclipse have their CS3 out and the LV2, both of their high-end guns. This R5, the Geo R5, is going to sell for $1,650, $100 less than the CS3. The CS3 is at $1,750, and then the LV2 is selling for $1,600. So all those guns are around that $1,700 to $1,600 price. But I kind of feel that, like, a lot of the things that we saw that made the CS3 interesting from Planet Eclipse, we're kind of, you know, seeing on this R5. Like the trigger redesign, that, you know, differently shaped foregrip, that differently shaped trigger frame, how it's kind of a little bit more slim, maybe has a little bit more feel like the Etha 3. It's got that barrel, those new electronics. The foregrip is slightly different. Like if we go back and compare the CS3 right here to the R5, that's the R5 right there. We go CS3, R5. I mean, it's a little bit different on the foregrip, but not slightly, you know. So I'd assume that both of these guns are going to have, I mean, pretty much nearly identical ergonomics. The one thing I actually really kind of do like is how they kind of got rid of the eye cover. Let's cycle through these pictures and see if we can just find a gun on the side. That's the side of the gun. And previously they had eye covers here, and there's just no eye covers anymore. So now the foregrip cover, that rubber cover, completely covers up the eyes. You can see it right there. I really like that. I just kind of think it's a little bit slicker and just a little bit cooler than having those metal eye covers there, because there's really maybe, you know, no point in the eye covers. So it's interesting. I don't quite understand. These guns have always kind of been a little bit confusing to me, because Planet Eclipse, now offers two guns that are essentially the same price, that essentially look the same. They essentially feel the same in your hands, but they might shoot a little bit different. So this gun is going to have a version. Let's turn this on. So this has a version. I'm not even sure what to call this. Let me know in the chat what we should call this thing. Because the Planet Eclipse guns, like say the CS3, it has a gamma core bolt system, but it has the OP core of the gamma core. So it has the OP gamma core. When this thing, I don't know what to call these bolt systems, right? We had the, say the IV core that was in the GO4 and the 3.5. But that doesn't have any like overarching name. So this one has the GR core, which is really just a very similar version of the IV core. We can kind of see right there. So this is on the top. This top bolt right here, that one right there, is actually the GR. So that's the brand new one. And then this bottom right down there is going to be the same bolt system that comes in the GO4, so the previous guns. And there's kind of just two things that I've noticed about this, right? Well, immediately it looks a lot different, right? I mean, I think we see that part right there, the like rear part of the can, or the valve body, I think that's called. It just looks much bigger compared to that IV core version. But not really, right? It's really just both of these parts kind of combined to make that one larger valve core or valve body, and then they put the can is still right there. So it's essentially the same pieces, just kind of like, you know, they just separate them in different spots. So it's not all that much different. You can definitely see that they've gotten rid of that prop shaft. There's just no prop shaft on the front of there. So now that prop shaft looks very similar to that gamma core bolt system. It's not really looking all that much different. The one thing that's definitely noticeable is you can see there's some little holes right there that are actually on the new that new bolt. We can kind of zoom in there and you can kind of see those on there versus the you know, just bolt before, where it just, I don't know, didn't have anything. You know, there's no holes there. That's the classic bolt they've been using forever. So there's a little bit of a change in that bolt, but who knows how this shoots? I mean, I don't know if it's going to shoot all that much different. You know, I thought that my my GO4, I don't know, I didn't really like the way my GO4 shot. But at the same time, I, you know, thought my GO 3.5 was the best gun I've ever owned. So it's kind of odd. We'll certainly find out here very soon. These are going to be probably shipping to customers within the next 4 to 5 days. Well, actually, I should say probably 6 days, probably early next week. But they're coming out, and people are going to start having them in their hands very soon. You know, I think I like the way it looks. I'm definitely not against the way it looks. I mean, it does look kind of simple and subdued. It definitely looks like a lot more like flat and maybe a little bit more streamlined for some reason. And these aren't lined up perfectly either, so I don't actually know if one of these guns is going to feel a little bit longer or not. We can see right there on the R5 that the foregrip, like how it lines up with the barrel, is a little bit more straight. Whereas if we look at the CS3, you can see that foregrip tucks back in a little bit underneath the body. So maybe just having that will make it even feel a little bit longer.